Hello and welcome to Byju's IAS. This is 8th of October 2021 and it is time for your daily quiz. Let's see the questions that we have for you today. Question number 1. Consider the following statements with regards to SC120-LOX semi-cryogenic tank and choose the correct ones. Number 1. It has been developed by HAL, that is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Number 2. It intends to increase the payload capacity in the existing Mk3 launch vehicle. Number 3. The newly developed tank would specially play an important role in the upcoming Gaganyaan project. Which of these statements is or are correct? If you look at these carefully one by one, you will realize that all these three given statements are absolutely correct. The reason why we are asking this question today is because the HAL has recently handed over this propellant tank to ISRO, which will be an additional boost to the ongoing research in the Gaganyaan project. It also intends to increase the payload capacity. In fact, it is the heaviest ever propellant tank prepared by HAL till now. The letters SC here stand for semi-cryogenic. Cryogenic, as you know, literally means extremely low temperatures. LOX here stands for liquid oxygen. This is the news story that the Hindu newspaper covered today. As you can see, HAL delivers the heaviest propellant tank to ISRO. It does not have a lot of factual details about this propellant tank. As much as we have asked you in the question, this is what has been covered in this particular article. Moving on, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the EWS quota as it applies to the NEET exam. Number 1. The individual's income for inclusion in the EWS quota must be under rupees 8 lakh per annum. Second, the 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act 2018 led to the introduction of the EWS reservation. Third, for inclusion under this criteria, the family should not own agricultural land of size 3 acres or more. Which of these given statements is or are incorrect? You have to choose the incorrect ones. Now, the options given in this question are slightly tricky. The reason why I say this is the first statement says the individual's income should not be over 8 lakh rupees per annum. Now, while this figure of 8 lakh is absolutely correct, the problem with this statement is in this word. The condition for inclusion in the EWS quota is that the family's income has to be till 8 lakh rupees per annum, not the individual. It talks about the entire family income. Second statement I thought was a pretty easy one. This is incorrect. This was 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 2019. And I would like you all to tell me in the comment section what exactly is the 102nd Amendment Act then. Third statement, for inclusion under this criteria, the family should not own agricultural land of size 3 acres or more is again incorrect. It is 5 acres. So as you can see, all the given statements are wrong and you had to choose the incorrect one only. The answer has to be D. All of these are incorrect. The reason why we are discussing this is because of this news article in the Indian Express, where the Supreme Court has asked the government the logic behind fixing rupees 8 lakh per annum family income limit to define the EWS category. Next question. Which of the following security forces is responsible for securing India's border with Nepal? The Indo-Tibetan Border Police, the Sashastra Seema Bal, the Border Security Force, or the Assam Rifles? The correct answer in this question is B, the Sashastra Seema Bal. Now, it might be an easy question for many people here, but I have a couple of counter questions here. Can you tell me which other border of India does Sashastra Seema Bal secure for us, apart from the India-Nepal border? Second, can you tell me the force that has the responsibility of securing India's border with Bangladesh? For both of these, do tell me in the comment section below. The reason why we are covering this news is because of this news article in the Hindu newspaper. under which India and Nepal will conduct joint patrols for controlling the trans-border crime. As you can see, it talks about the Sashastra Seema Bal. Moving on, number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index or MPI and choose the correct ones. Number 1. The index is published annually by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative and United Nations Development Programme. Second, the three dimensions included in the index are health, education, and living standard. Third, all the UN member nations are included in the index to get a holistic view. Which of these is or are correct? First statement is absolutely correct. These two agencies together publish this index and they publish it annually. The second statement also is correct. It focuses on three main indices, which is health, education, and living standard. The third statement, however, is wrong. Not all the nations are included in this. This index mainly focuses on developing nations only. So about 100 odd developing nations are covered in this index and not all the nations. So the correct answer here has to be A, since 1 and 2 are correct, but the third statement is incorrect. The reason why we are asking this question again is because of an Indian Express article which talks about a UN report that says that 5 out of the 6 multi-dimensionally poor in India are from lower caste or tribes. Moving on, question number 5. With regards to India's joint military exercises with different nations, which of the following is or are not correctly matched? So we have to see if these exercises are correctly matched or not. So India's exercise with Mongolia, as per the question, should be nomadic elephant. With Thailand, Maitri. With UK, Vajra Prahar. And with Nepal, Surya Kiran. Which of these is not correctly matched? The correct answer to this question is B. The India-UK exercise is not called Vajra Prahar. And it is upon you to tell me in the comment section, Vajra Prahar is an exercise between India and which country? The reason why we are asking this question today is because of this article in the Hindu newspaper, which talks about the fact that Indian forces will carry out joint exercises with the UK. In fact, joint army training is ongoing as we speak today at Chaubatia. For the naval exercises, the exercise is scheduled to begin in the third week of October. What exactly is the correct name of India-UK joint exercise? That is Ajay Warrior. If you can see here, Ajay Warrior. That is the name that should have been there in the question. Moving on to the previous year question discussion for the day. This is a question that was asked in 2019 prelims examination. Recently, there was a growing awareness in our country about the importance of Himalayan nettle because it is found to be a sustainable source of anti-malarial drug, biodiesel, pulp for paper industry, or textile fiber. The correct answer to this question is textile fiber. The correct answer has to be D. Now, with growing awareness of natural resources throughout the world, this particular fiber yielding plant has become a pretty important source of livelihood for people who are living in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. This fabric has now found a market throughout the world and is sold in national as well as international markets. Time now to move on to the fact of the day. There was a news story on PIB yesterday which talked about the fact that India has joined the High Ambition Coalition. So we thought of discussing what exactly is this coalition all about and what does it intend to do. Now this coalition came into being after the Paris Climate Summit, and interestingly the nations behind this coalition are not very strong or popular nations. In fact, this particular coalition was founded by the Republic of Marshall Islands in 2014. As you know, small island nations are more susceptible to climate change with increasing level of the sea. Thus, the High Ambition Coalition is an informal grouping of over 70 nations which are trying to achieve the target that has been set by the Paris Climate Summit. Interestingly, India is the first BRICS nation to join this group. Unfortunately enough, most of the nations which were a part of the Paris climate deal have not done enough to stay on their commitment and are nowhere near the aim that they had set for themselves in the Paris climate deal. This was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching.